So let's move straight to our next conversation. Now, as a uniform examination body, the West African Examination Council, WASSCE, serves as the benchmark for assessing secondary education in the region. This year, the results released by the Examination Board paint a troubling picture. Only 754,545 candidates, which is about 38% of the 1.97 million, will start for the 2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination, secured credits in at least 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics. The head of Nigeria's office of WASSCE, Amos Dangote, noted that this year's results showed a 33.8% decrease in performance compared to 72.12% recorded in 2024. He also revealed that 192,089 results have been withheld over suspected malpractice. Now let's share the story by TVC News' Sharon Ijason with you.
The West African Examination Council's head of Nigeria office, Amos Dangote, has announced the official release of the May-June 2025 WASSCE results. At a press briefing held in Lagos, he revealed a decline in candidates' overall performance, especially in the number of students who secured credits in 5 core subjects, including English language and mathematics.
There is 33.8% decrease in performance. 33.8% decrease in performance. That is, those who obtain credit and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English, language, and mathematics. In 2025, the percentage was 2024, the percentage was...
The council disclosed that out of 1,904,103 candidates who sat for the examination, only 87.24% obtained credit and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, but not necessarily including English and mathematics.
754,545 candidates, representing 38.32% obtained credits and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics.
Gender distribution shows that 976,787 were male and 992,526 were female, a nearly even split with female candidates slightly ahead at 50.40%.
If you take a look, you will know among the genders which ones are doing better, which ones need to be propped up more. This is left for academic exercise.
The outcome of this year's exam has once again reignited critical conversations about the quality of teaching, access to educational resources, and the widening learning gaps within Nigeria's basic and secondary education system. Sharon Ijason, TVC News.
Bikil, this is a very serious matter and a very scary one. But let's look at the factors. What are the factors, that contributed to this drastic decline in WASSCE performance, across the country?
Well, it's difficult to pin it down on one factor. English and general mathematics. I think this year the rate of failure is unprecedented.
Absolutely.
And even very brilliant, excellent students could not secure distinction in English. We would have been told that the boy who is the head boy of the school,
or was the head boy, just an average
scored below 200. But people said, no, not this boy. He led the school in the SAT exam by scoring 1,450 inside. We managed to score A1 in maths or A1 in English. The teachers are demoralized. They are wondering what went on. Because it is the pride of the teacher to say, the students that I brought up, this was how well they performed. there's a school somewhere in Agidingbi, Bright Sun College, where a girl scored 371 in college, where a girl scored 371 in JAM, the JAM exam, one of the best in the country. I think one of the best 10 or so in the country. I'm eager, and the person next to him,
Yeah.
I know Lua Taiwo, scored 368. The girl that I'm talking about is Camilla.
Okay.
Camilla Karim. I'm wondering whether what happened in Picklin was also what happened at Bryson. I still want to find out. If that's the case, then the question, there has to be maybe a kind of post-mortem.
And the examination
because it's
body
not unusual.
To be, you know.
It's not unusual. A teacher walks up to his and says, what happened now? You let me down. This was not what I expected. And these are people, a lot of them had sat for the external GC. They sat for GC in November, when they had not even been taught some of those those equations that they encountered. And they did, well, some of them scored distinction there. So what happened?
Then what happened?
So sometimes we need to find out, because I'm really, when they say in 10 years, it's actually more than 10 years, because in 2015, it was actually 38.69%. That's when we felt it was the worst. But this year was 38.32. So it's actually worse than 10 years ago. So it's more, it's in more than 10 years, not in 10 years. You know? So there is a need. Was in our country in 2019, the performance rate, the pass rate was 64%. 2020 was 65%. 2021 was 81%. 2022 was 76%. 2024 was 72.12%. So what happened? I think there's a need. WAEC shouldn't just come
Did they change the marking scheme? Did they change?
They talked about, real-time digital scoring and all that.
Yes.
And I know that teachers always tell their students, look, every step in mathematics is important.
Exactly true.
Don't be in a hurry to submit your result. I mean, your
answer.
Your answer sheet. Take your time. Perhaps these people change their pattern or something, but take your time, show all of those steps, all of those stages, so that they will know that, okay, this is how you arrived at your answer. But frankly, this is really troubling. I know that for women, for the girls, the girls, they did much better. 407,353 passed, as against 347,192 for the boys. I'm not surprised. There has been a trend.
The girls are
the girls
really
doing, maybe they are more dedicated and all that, but that's even talking in general terms.
Yes.
But whatever will make students do this badly, it's not enough to just make it look like, it's because we are more serious now about catching cheats and all that. We need to find out how come that we see people score distinctions in other subjects. What is it about these two subjects?
Maths and,
you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, apart from looking at the examination body, let's also look at the quality of students we have now. I mean, how would you compare the commitment of students, you know, of now and students of the past?
Benga, I don't want to agree that it's about the commitment of students. If you are talking about students of now, the students of now, are they different from the students of last year, 2 years or 3 years ago?
The distraction back then.
No, 2 years ago. What's the difference between 2020?
Distraction last year when they had 72.
Benga, for me, let's still go back to WAEC. I will not take the word. I'm not saying that the WAEC was saying what is wrong, okay? But I'm not going to take WAEC's word for it. So, the question I'm asking myself is, hey, is there a possibility of a glitch? Remember when JAM came up the other
There
time?
were even cases when people had to write exam in the night. Parents left for home as late as 11 o'clock. This same WAECO, you started some exams as late as 7 p.m. Parents going home at 11. This is what they are.
So many questions are begging for answers. If you say that, okay, because you introduce some measures, so you cut a lot of cheats, are you saying that people have been passing through examination malpractice? That's the question we should be asking. Are you saying those who passed, those who had distinctions, those who performed very well? Although I'm not saying that we should discountenance everything he said, because he said, the head of Nigerian office, National Office of WAEC, said that they did better in the theory.
Yeah, but
that is because of the serialization.
Objective.
That's even some examination centers, they mix up the papers and all of that. That could be. Is it problem with CBT? I don't want to agree, because it's the same set of students that are taking WAEC that are also doing CBT. So you can't tell me that, okay, because you introduce CBT, they are used to paper and pencil. That is why. So there are so many questions begging for answers. What I want to say is this. It's about Nigerian education, it's about Nigeria's future. I mean, this is what declaring a state of emergency for. State of emergency in the educational sector.
Do you think the Federal Ministry of Education and state ministries should investigate this matter?
That is what I'm saying. Everybody should investigate. Everybody should be interested. All stakeholders, parents should cry out, just like it did.
People should be free to call for their
exactly. We need more answers.
They should call for their answers.
Exactly. We need more. We cannot be satisfied with what Mr. Dagnott said. We can't just be satisfied because he has just said his own. But people must rise and find out what really happened.
Because this was the way people rose.
So you talk about quality of teaching.
And JAM had to redress.
You talk about the quality of teaching. That's something. But we've had teachers. We've had the same as the teachers. We have new teachers. You said you have poor quality teaching. But we've had teachers also perform excellently, produce candidates that did very well. When did the poor teachers come? Did they just emerge this 2025? There are so many questions. So I'm not going to.
The rate of failure is.
But they said one of the reasons they did was because of examination work. We hear of miracle centers everywhere.
Yes, that is there.
They have always been there. They have always been. We know that is a factor.
And we are not discouraging them from gunning for such people. We are not discouraging them. But I know somebody who had 7 A's without a distinction in both English and Maths. How can a whole school not have somebody who score a good school? A good school that some of us can attest to. And it's not, I'm not being selfish now. I feel for those children. Because they worked very hard. At a point, I felt that my son had done far too many exams for his age. I felt, at the time when he was barely even 15 years, we said, okay, go and do the external GCE. And he had credits in all those papers. Despite the fact that they had not taught them a lot of those things.
Yes, sure.
So that is the now you come and then English language. If people have, even in JAM, it was this English language that reduce the scores of people because even excellent students were struggling to score above 60 even in English in JAM. So if there is a problem that we've identified in terms of the quality of instruction as it relates to English language and then performance of students, that has to be addressed. There has to be a national conversation around what should we do? What should we do? Because we agree that even some people who are teachers do not deserve to be teachers.
Yeah.
Yes. Some of them don't have the psychological.
But that has always been there. That's always been an issue.
So we are saying that, okay, we can't simply be seeing these results and not come up with a solution that can help us achieve significant improvement. That is my point. And my point is, if you have excellent students, because that was the reason many people didn't believe what happened with JAM was because they couldn't explain how probably the best student in their school will be scoring below 200. And they challenged it. And invariably, JAM said,
Yeah.
We had issues, this and that, and they allowed people to sit for those papers. And I was telling you that one boy who scored below 200, if I remember, even in my house, we were discussing it. How could this boy? Because from his first year, he's been excellent. From JS1, excellent right up to the end. And led the school. On some occasions, you now say that he didn't score up to 200.
I mean, so that would dampen the morale of most students and parents as well.
Thankfully, JAMS Make Good came early, before students started doing something to themselves. And then that boy had the second chance shake of the dice, and he scored 365. You can imagine if the opportunity had not come, that boy would have lost faith in himself.
Exactly.
That what happened to me.
And would affect.
We saw the one who took his own life.
Yeah, a girl
who took her own life. You know, so we cannot just simply say, okay, it's normal for people to have this kind of failure rate.
No, it's not. No,
teachers have to be involved. Teachers have to be involved. Experts have to be involved.
Absolutely.
What really is going on?
Absolutely.
What really? Because I believe that a whole school of excellent students that some of us can testify to should not be in a situation in which one person will not even score A1.
A1, yeah.
Come on.
All right, gentlemen. Well, we need to go on this quick break. When we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout. All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have BKO right here, and Paul Dada is also with us. Now, to round off this conversation, BKO, this is a very, very serious matter. But how should the Federal Ministry of Education respond to this issue?
Yes, first, let me correct the name of the exceptionally brilliant student at Brightson College. That's Camila Karima.
Okay.
Camila Karima. He scored 371 in JAM. And as I said, we need to even find out how some of those exceptional students in that school, how did they perform in mathematics and English. Bounce it against how others performed. Schools, yes. Because the best in another school, one scored 370, the other one scored 365. You know, that is Adejumobi, Toluwa Lashe, and Abara George.
Okay.
Both of them could not score a distinction in both English and mathematics. You know, and these are subjects that they are very comfortable in. You know if your son is very comfortable. Exactly. If your son had never scored a B in a subject, and then suddenly you see he scores B3 or something, there's no way you will even be embarrassed.
Like, what's going on?
It will trouble you. So I agree with you. And one way for us to know this is to, because people can say, oh, those ones are not good enough. How about the ones who have that track record? People write international exams doing exceedingly well.
Well, yeah.
You can't say now that just 2 subjects. And you see them doing very well in the other subjects. Is it not the same examination, you know, managed by the same examination body? So there is a need to ask questions. We must not be simply stung into silence and come to the conclusion, oh, it's normal. No, it's not normal. This is not normal. This kind of result is not normal, especially when just the last 3 years, 4 years from 2021, you have as much as 81% pass rate, and then coming down to 38.32.
Something, yeah.
Even worse than 2015. So there's a need to ask those questions. What went on wrong? Maybe there are mistakes. Then people need to be told. The teaching staff, school management, they need to be told that, okay, maybe this was where you people or your candidates, your students didn't get it right, so that people can learn. It's not enough to simply say, okay, it's normal. No. If people assume that it was normal when it happened to JAM, maybe many people will have committed suicide today.
Absolutely.
But so those students had another chance. And like I said, in the case of the young boy at Peak Lane, from under 200, now he got a chance to sit for it again, and he scored 365. That cannot be by accident. It's because he trusted himself that he was far better than what was allocated to him, and he had to show it when he got a second chance.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to